I'm not sure about you guys, but the messaging looks pretty clear to me. Apparently, the group taking responsibility for the cyber attack upon X today is called Dark Storm Team. As we can see right here, Dark Storm Team claimed responsibility for the attack earlier today. Now, of course, this group taking responsibility is pro-Hamas or pro-Palestinian, which perfectly fits the narrative being pushed right now. I'm not sure about you guys, but in my own personal opinion, this name right here, Dark Storm, is messaging or forecasting of what's coming. Now, I find it interesting or a coincidence that we have Dark Storm Team taking responsibility for this hack that went against the individual who is the leader of Dark MAGA. And not to mention the Dark Enlightenment founded by Curtis Yarvin, which is the philosophy that is behind this current administration. Now, I've made videos on Curtis Yarvin and the Dark Enlightenment and what they want to bring forth. You can either watch those videos or do your own research. So it seems to me that lately there is a lot of dark messaging being pushed out there. Now, the timing of this is truly impeccable, how we have this Dark Storm Team hacking X on the Monday, the moon day, before we have this blood worm moon on Friday, which is fitting because a lunar eclipse is when the moon goes dark. While at the same time we have the stock market crashing, and we also have the crypto markets crashing, which coincidentally we have this Economist magazine cover, which will be released on the 14th, the day of the lunar eclipse, showing Trump with gasoline lighting up money. So with that, let me just speak my heart and what's on my mind, because it sure seems like a lot is converging right now. I've made several videos about this lunar eclipse. Whether something happens or not, we will have to wait and see. Again, I'm just reading the writing on the wall, trying to put things together. If something happens, something happens. But again, we can see that things are increasing daily. So we had the SNL skit with a satanic ritual summoning one of the most demonic Mesopotamian deities by Lady Gaga, which is a high-level occultist, the same weekend that Trump is talking about going to war with Iran, or, things are going to happen with Iran. We have talks again with Hamas, Israel, and now we have this Dark Storm Team hacking X, which they claim to be pro-Palestinian. Again, just the narrative being set. No one really knows what in the world is going on, but the narrative is what matters, because that is what they're trying to push out there. So we have that going on the same week, which we have the Ides of March, which, for those who know, that goes back to Rome with the assassination of Caesar, Julius Caesar. So this is a hot month or hot time of the month with Roman mythology and Roman celebration. March on its own is the month of Mars, or the month of war. So we have that there. And then we also have Purim, which is a celebration found in Esther, which is also on the 13th and 14th when we have this lunar eclipse. So a lot of things are kind of converging, right? A lot of things. We have an increase in artificial intelligence. We have Doge firing everybody and bringing in artificial intelligence for the government. We have the singularity on the horizon, which Tony Musk has declared. A lot of things happening, right? But the messaging that I'm seeing, that I just want to present to you guys, take it to the Lord, right? You are your own individual, that you have your own personal relationship with the Lord. Everything I say, take it back to the Lord. Don't take it as the gospel truth. Take it to the Lord, take it to his word, and pray for discernment and wisdom. But I see a lot of this dark messaging. Again, dark MAGA, dark enlightenment, and now this dark storm. And the messaging that I am seeing is that a dark storm is coming. And I think anybody with an ounce of discernment can see the writing on the wall, that whether you believe in a pre-tribulation rapture or not, we can see that the tribulation is at the door, right? That we are going into some crazy times, that the end of an age is shifting, and there's going to be a paradigm change here right in front of us. So just put the rapture aside, okay? Because no matter what, we got to continue just staying focused on the Lord through this all. And I don't want people to get so caught up in this debate of a pre-tribulation rapture, post-tribulation rapture. It's absolutely useless. It will happen when it happens, but through this time, we really need to focus on our relationship with the Lord. And with this all going on, we can see the messaging. Dark storm is coming. And with this idea that a dark storm is coming, I want to bring to you some scripture. I found it fitting to bring up the story of Peter walking on water during the storm, found in Matthew chapter 14. So let's start with verse 29. So he said, "Come." And when Peter had come out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. So as we can see right here in verse 29, Peter is walking on water during the storm because he is focusing upon Jesus. He's looking to him. But the second that he pulls his eyes off of Jesus is when things start to happen, okay? So verse 30, but when he saw, okay? going back to where he is looking. But when he saw that the wind was blowing hard, he was afraid and he began to sink. He cried out, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him, and he said to him, O you of little faith, why did you doubt? Now, the message of this passage right here is to focus upon Jesus and look to him and trust in him during the storm. But the second that you pull your eyes off of him and you look to the world, the stress of the world, the storm going on, the financial crisis, whatever is trying to bring you down, you are going to sink into anxiety, into stress because of your lack of faith. Because at the root, if you do have anxiety, stress, fear, or worry, there is a lack of faith at the root. If you just dig deep, because you're not having faith that God is going to take care of you, that God is going to protect you, you're going to sink into those emotions. And we also see this idea in Deuteronomy when the 12 spies are sent up to go inspect the promised land, and they come back and 10 of them were saying how scary the land was with all the giants and that they can't do it. It showed a lack of faith in the God of Israel, that he was going to take it for them, but they did not trust in him. They had lack of faith. So likewise, right now, us living in this world where there is clearly a dark storm coming, are you going to focus your eyes upon the Lord, trusting in him, having faith that no matter what comes your way, you're going to be okay? You have the God of the universe inside of you if you are a believer, if you trust and believe in him. That's what truly matters. Or are you going to fall and succumb to stress, anxiety, fear, worry about little things that you can't even control? Can you control the stock market? Can you control what this administration is doing? Can you control the artificial intelligence takeover? No. All you can control is your faith. Where's your eyes looking to? Where's your mind set on? That is why we have to take every thought captive. We have our mind transformed and renewed daily, looking to his word, loving others, concerned about your relationship with others, and walking forward. Again, we keep our finger on the pulse of what's going on prophetically. That keeps us having this urgency in our heart that we are close to the return of the Lord. But until then, we are for our Father's business, that we want to be out there being workers for him, because the harvest is truly plentiful, but the workers are few. Now, with that being said, I do not want this information and the news to cause stress and anxiety for you guys, because that is not from the Lord. He does not give us fear. He gives us the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. And he gives us peace that surpasses all understanding, that will guard your heart and your mind. And I want you, brothers and sisters out there, to have that peace that surpasses understanding. So focus your eyes upon the Lord and really just go out there abiding in Christ, growing in intimacy, allowing your heart to just align to him. Pray for his desires, pray for his will in your life. I love you all so much. God bless. Remember, the just shall live by faith.